Very good evening. Myself, Dr. Sandeep Tripathi, and I'm very happy to deliver lecture on the concept of power. My first lecture, which I have delivered on YouTube, and so many viewers have seen it, and one of viewer just requested to give a lecture on the classical notion of power, and that's why I decided to deliver a lecture on the concept of power in classical concept, because the last video I have delivered on the C.B. Macpherson, who is a contemporary philosopher. Now, today I'm going to discuss about the concept of power, how the notion of power occupies a central role in political science. At the same time, from Greek philosophy to till postmodern society, the concept of power has been changing according to the time and context. During the 16th century, Machiavelli interpreted the concept of power, and then 17th century, most influential philosopher Thomas Hobbes categorically conceptualized the concept of power, how it occupies a prominent role in state activities. And then Robert Dahl, Martin Kaplan, Harold Lasswell, almost all the thinkers have focused on the concept of power. So let us see what actually is. And let me explain here in starting that I'll focus today by defining the notion of the classical notion of power in the power in a structural notion. How it has been decided that power power literally exists in a structure. And this kind of notion has been defined by the Marxist notion. So in that perspective, I'll explain the Marxist notion of power, and subsequently the new Marxist thinker Antonio Gramsci. So let me discuss first what is the power. As I said, power is the central concept in political science. Harold Lasswell, Kaplan and Lasswell says political science as the shaping and sharing of power. Robert Dahl says that political science, power is a kind of influence. Power is a kind of influence. Robert Dahl says that it creates ability. It means if someone is willing to do something and someone fulfills one's desire from others, is a power. And that is why in day-to-day life we have seen, and you might have heard, that political power, intellectual power, money power, muscle power In fact, we can say the life revolves around the concept of power. Each and everywhere we have seen, yeah, we generally heard that intellectual power exists, money power exists, martial power exists, political power exists, economic power exists, ideological power. So power is kind of influence, just Robert Dahl says. And international politics, 20th century realist thinker Hans Morgenthau also says that it is the kind of influence. It controls the mind and the body of others. I'm not going to detail in international politics because there is another section, the power politics in international politics. However, here I'll define today that the power is something which creates influence. For example, economic power. If one possesses the economic power, on the basis of economy, one can influence. If one has intellectual power, so on the basis of intellect, one can influence. So these are the various dimensions of the power. But the point is not here to know the define the various types of the power. The point is here to discuss about whether the power is really rooted in agency or the power is really rooted in a structure. As I said earlier that I'm going to discuss the concept of power in a structural sense. And this structural sense has been defined by the Marxist notion of, yeah, you can say the Marxist school of thought. What is the structural power? Generally, we believe that individual enjoy the power. Individual is the real no master of the power. But according to structural theory, it doesn't happen at all. Nothing like the individual in power sense. According to Marxist school of thought, power is rooted in structure. So what is the structure? Structure is class. According to Marx, this is something the class. And what is the class? Class, the division of the class is economy. Someone have and have not. Have and have not. In political terms, this kind of terminology has been in the Marx. But in real terms, let me clarify. Have means those who controls economic resources. And this class is defined by the Marx as bourgeois class. In simple terms, we can say capitalistic class. And those who do not control the economic resources, so they will be classified under the category of have not. Have not means proletarian class. Proletarian class means the working class. So society is nothing. Society is divided only in binary sense. One is have and second is have not. And there is nothing at all any other class. So in this structure, according to Marx, the power is really rooted in bourgeois class. It means capitalistic class. Those who controls economy. Economy means जो means of production है, जो means of जिसे मार्क्स कहता है social production. Who controls? Because earlier we have seen that power is all about the control. So who control on the economic resources? Of course, the bourgeois class. So in that sense, power is really rooted in the bourgeois class. So according to Marx, this is the base. He has classified the two types of society in two types. First is base and second is superstructure. He says the economy is the base and morality, uh, law, state, social practice, social norms, family, value system, even belief system, each and every segment of the society is superstructure. Most importantly, Marx says that the superstructure on which we are living, and we proudly say that, oh, this is our culture, this is our value system, this is our legal system, this is our political system. We proudly say that we have created the morality, social norms, custom, social practice, state. So according to Marx, this is this is a kind of false consciousness. Marx says this is not at all the truth. Culture is not your social practice. You cannot claim that this is my social practice. The cultural social practice, legal system, state, it is everything is designed by the bourgeois class. Yeah, capitalistic class. If you claim that this is all of the working class, absolutely this is false consciousness. See, most importantly, we feel that it is my culture. We feel that this is my social practice. So it is not at all yours, according to Marx. Marx says it has been designed to you. And you have to follow. And that is saying you are being realized that this this kind of culture has been created according to your consciousness. Your consciousness has allowed to enjoy the culture, to enjoy the social system and at all political system. But this is fantasy according to Marx. Marx कहता है कि एक fantasy है. This is not reality. A fantasy. Why it is a fantasy? Because you are being realized. Through the manipulative power of the capitalistic class. And this is economy that determines everything. That is most important. Who determines the power? Who determines the center of power? Whether the working class or the capitalist class. Of course, according to Marx, capitalistic class. Capitalistic class is the creator of the power, but it is not through the coercion, it is through the manipulation. Let me give one example, which we say this is the model. For example, if today is a latest model of any products, you can say the laptop, mobile, and today we say and we are enjoying this by claiming that I am enjoying the latest model of this products. At the same time, I will feel a kind of superiority complex that I am using. But after 2 months, after 3 months, the same products will be outdated. So what about your feeling after 2 months? After 2 months, you will realize that if you are, if you are using the same products before the 2 months that you purchased, and the market launched another products, and you are still not in position to purchase the new products, so you will feel a kind of complex, inferiority complex, that I don't have the capacity to purchase because the last 2 months I have purchased a products, for example, laptop 30,000 rupees, and now after 2 months it has increased up to the 60,000. So 60,000 became a model, and 30,000 that was a model before 2 months, it became outdated. So become a model and to become an outdated model, it is not in your hand. It is not in your hand. It is again redesigned, designed by the capitalistic class. So in that sense, you can say that you don't have nothing except to accept the given model, accept the given model. So according to Marx, the real power exists in in structure, and the structure, who holds the structure, of course capitalistic class holds the structure. And to claim that we are the part of the power system, it is a kind of fantasy, is a kind of false concessions. That is not the real power according to Marx. But it so, dear friends, this is the concept of Marxism. You can see the structural notion of power that is given by the Marxist philosophy. And most importantly, I would like to continue this debate of the power. The new Marxist philosopher Antonio Gramsci. And I said that the Marx says that the economy is everything, and the superstructure is created for the legitimacy to maintain the stability of the society. So it is artificial consciousness, it is a false consciousness, which Marx says. Sorry. This is not nothing at all the real the power. But Italian philosopher, the 20th century Italian philosopher, Antonio Gramsci does not believe the Marxist interpretation. Antonio Gramsci says that superstructure is important. Base is not so important as Marx claimed. However, the superstructure is important. And what is the superstructure according to Gramsci? Gramsci says capitalism has been very receptive and very flexible time to time. If there is any kind of crisis about the model of capitalism, so it has a nature of the capitalism to adopt itself according to the time and context. And in that context, Antonio Gramsci points out that is superstructure, which Gramsci defines, is structure of domination. What is the structure of domination? As I said, the power is all about the influence. As I said, the power is all about to create ability to do something from others, to control others, the mind and body, according to Mark and Thorpe. In that sense, there are some structures of domination. Individuals is not competent to control everything. As I said, structure is important. And Antonio Gramsci said there are the structure of domination. This capitalistic class has created a structure of domination. Very fascinating idea has been floated by the Antonio Gramsci. Antonio Gramsci says that the structure of domination has uh, two kinds of interpretation. One is structure of legitimization, and second is structure of coercion. See, stability is more important for any system, whether it's socialist system or capitalist system. Each and every system seeks to maintain this stability. So how will you maintain the stability? This is most important. Give me uh, put one example. If in your family, for example, a baby try to get something from you, from her or his father, their mother, and still, yeah, he's obedient to get something. She's highly passionate that she has to take at any cost, and you have to deliver also. There's no other space. So what will you build? What will you do? First, you will try to convince her or him through the moral story, through the courageous story, through by who can prove. No, you will try to, convince your baby. You are not going to accept her or his demand. But on the other hand, you are trying to convince not to demand from you. And the tool of your convince, the mechanism of your convince will be your personal story. Okay, on this age, I was never kind of that. I didn't use this, and at all you will narrate a kind of story to convince her. If he or she does not convince from your moral story, from your social stories, from your political stories, from your whatever your norms, then you will resort to coercion. You will try to punish her or him because you are not willing to provide, you are not willing to satisfy her. Yet to uh, give what is demanded by her or him at all. Then finally you will resort to coercion. It means first is structure of legitimization. First, you will try to legitimize, you will try to convince. So, according to Antonio Gramsci, this capitalistic state, capitalistic class, try to, through social norms, through the morality, through the school, through the family, various kinds of social structures we will use to convince the working class, oh, do not try to raise your voice. I'm here to, we are here to, and through the moral story that okay, this is the crisis of the state, so please listen. If the working class, if the large section of the class is not ready to hear you, then police, then state resorts coercion. This is structure of coercion. First structure of legitimization, and second structure of coercion. So Antonio Gramsci has defined the structure of domination in two folds. First, the structure of domination, legitimization, and second structure is coercion. So this is all about the concept of structural power, Marx and the later new Marxist Antonio Gramsci, and the vision that has been given by the Antonio Gramsci. It provides a verbal insight how to fight against the capitalism and the capitalistic skills and the capitalistic false consciousness that has been created by the capitalistic class through the soft power, through the moral values, and through the, as Antonio Gramsci clearly sees, the structure of legitimization. And the whole story, the whole phenomena is, defined by the Antonio Gramsci as a hegemony, not as a power. Gramsci says it is not at all the power. This is kind of hegemony, and the power is hegemony, something different. Hegemony when it tried to incorporate the kind of legitimacy, right? So this is the structure of domination. So this is all about the concept of power according to Marxist. Thank you.